Hi, I'm DaleJohnsen. I'm an independent health insurance broker, and I'm here to help explain to you the Affordable Care Act in a way that should make sense. So first of all, what is Obamacare all about? The Patient Protection Affordable Care Act, or PPACA, was signed into law by President Obama March 23rd of 2010, and ever since then, all new plans have to follow certain guidelines in order to be allowed on the market. The whole purpose of the PPACA legislation was to compel a lot of U.S. citizens and residents who don't yet have insurance to buy it, so that there's a greater pool of people to pull from in order to share the cost of medical care. A major thrust of the legislation is to help lower income families become insured and to make sure that their co-pays are low enough that it doesn't prohibit them from getting the care that they need. Those who make more money are going to pay more money and additional taxes as well to help make healthcare affordable for the lower income. So basically there is a transfer of wealth from those at the higher income level to those at the lower income level to make sure that everyone has health care provided for them. Now in our nation there's a lot of people who've been dying because they simply lacked health care. But if they had insurance, they would have gone and gotten their health care. And a lot of these conditions were preventable. And in fact, if they were caught early on, they would have been much easier to fix and to treat. And so that's the motivation behind trying to get the rising uninsured rate to drop down to about half over the next 3 years through offering the Affordable Care Act or health care reform. Now the whole system is quite complex if you look at all the pieces of it, but I'd like to summarize the major functions of it by looking at 4 main ideas: the individual mandate, the large business mandate, the expansion of Medicaid, and then the health exchanges, which will provide health coverage both to individuals and to small businesses. The acronym SHOP on the bottom left stands for Small Business Health Option Program. Now both SHOP and the individual plans are going to be put out in 4 metal levels. Bronze, the lowest cost with the least benefit, and platinum, the highest cost with the greatest benefit. And we'll get into that more later on in detail. Now so far you've already noticed that people who have children under the age of 26, those children can continue to be on their parents' health plan longer now than what used to be possible. There are now no maximums either annually or for a lifetime in terms of the cost of expenditure to pay for your medical care. And you've noticed that premiums have continued to go up 20, 30, 40% over the past couple of years. You may have also noticed that you're paying more on your payroll taxes, which goes to help fund some of these mandates. Now just an overview of some of the changes that are going to be happening in 2014. In California, if you're newly hired into a small group job, you have to be offered health insurance within the first 60 days of your hire. Practically speaking, it's going to be more like the first of the month after you've been working for 30 days, you'll have coverage. This new healthcare plan is going to be enforced by the IRS, by the Department of Labor, by Health and Human Services, and by Homeland Security, because they're going to be verifying your Social Security number to make sure that you are a legal resident of the U.S. Over the next 3 years, we're expecting 2.5 million more Californians to get either health insurance or to be covered under Medi-Cal, and the children's version, which is going to be called Medi-Cal Kids, replacing Healthy Families. And there'll be more of a focus on wellness. There'll be an encouragement for companies to have wellness programs in place in the workplace. Now, part of the basis behind all this is, as a nation, we are spending twice as much on healthcare costs as most other Western nations, and yet our care is not substantially better. And so the goal is to try to get more people playing the game by putting premiums into the system to try to level out the rate of increase of health care costs. All the new plans coming out in 2014 are going to include 10 essential health benefits. We'll look at those more later on. There will be no more 5-year banding for premium rates. Every year that an adult ages, their rate will go up a little bit every single year. Those rates will be guaranteed for the next 12 months. And the big change with the Affordable Care Act is that middle America, the average income is maybe $50,000, $60,000 a year for the household. Well, under PPACA, if a family of 4 is making less than $94,000, they will be eligible for some level of subsidy or premium assistance to help pay for their health coverage. In the next 3 parts, I'm going to be talking about large groups, small groups, and individual plans. So, just briefly, with large groups, you've heard in the news that the penalties of $2,000 per employee per year has been delayed until 2015. And yet all the other laws and regulations regarding this healthcare reform are still in play. So large employers shouldn't take too much relief in that because it's still coming down the road pretty fast. The term affordable is being defined as whatever is less than 9.5% of an employee's W-2 income. And if somebody's making more than a couple $100,000 a year, he can expect his taxes to go up to help fund this whole endeavor. Regarding small groups who have less than 50 employees do not have to offer health coverage. If they do want to offer health coverage, they can either do so outside of the exchange or within the exchange. Under certain circumstances, they may be eligible for a tax credit to help them pay the premiums to get a new health plan going for their employees. But some small employers may actually drop their small group coverage altogether and just send each of their employees out into the exchange to buy their own. When it comes to individuals and families, again, the good news is that everybody's now going to qualify. No more underwriting. Even if you have cancer or you're going to have a surgery, you are still going to be covered. The premium is not based on your health history. It's based on how old are you and where do you live and how big is your family and what was your income last year, your adjusted gross income. In Southern California, where I live, the major players in the exchange are going to be Anthem Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Health Net, and Kaiser. And you could pick any one of those plans and apply the same subsidy level you want to go towards your premium reduction. I think that's probably enough overload information for this first episode. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or email the address you see on the screen, and I'd be happy to try to help answer your questions and solve your needs. For now, this is DaleJohnsen signing out.